Time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. The Zimbabwean government has denied involvement in the killing of a political activist in South Africa, suggesting that the death of Kudzai Saruwaka was the latest statistics of South Africa's high murder rate. Saruwaka was shot and killed in the Mabopane area of Pretoria in South Africa over the weekend. Hundreds of democracy activists in the Diaspora are reportedly on a hit list, including Hopewell Chin'ono, Job Sikhala, Tinashe Jonasi, as well as our next guest who now joins us on the line. It's General Sithole, one of the Zimbabwean political activists in the Diaspora. General, good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much, Lulu. How are you?
Very well, thanks. We are all good. And, General, we when we see such stories and what is happening on the ground, what is your immediate reaction when you heard about the killing of Kudzai Saruwaka? And how well known was Saruwaka within the Zimbabwean democracy movement in the Diaspora?
Thank you so much. Let me first answer about him being known. He's a person who is known by most of the Zimbabweans as the democracy activist in the diaspora, as well as the future of the country, because every generation has got to do what we call generational transition. So Kudzai Saruwaka was one of the bright young politicians who were coming up with promising energy to actually transform the situation in Zimbabwe. So most of the Zimbabweans, they know Comrade Saruwaka.
Now, Saruwaka's killing has been described as a well-organized, state-sponsored murder. What evidence is there to support this claim?
You know, where anything which is unfortunate transpires, we actually have people express their feelings in the different ways. We cannot speak of any evidence now, Lulu, because things which can be done in the dark can actually be something which is tricky in terms of interpreting it in the light. We are not sure if ZANU-PF was involved or not, but taking into consideration the circumstances around Saruwaka, that in October they led the anti-2030 march, which was organized by the late Comrade Bombshell Geza, who also was a democracy activist and a war liberation hero who passed away here in South Africa also. And also taking into consideration that Comrade Saruwaka has got a warrant of arrest which was issued by then, that he is also being targeted to be put in jail amongst the other activists who are still in jail today. You know, the speculations will always go that people will connect the event of his killings to the political relationship of his survival on day-to-day life.
Now, General, your name has reportedly appeared on a hit list. When did you first become aware of this? And how seriously are you taking the threats? You know, have you or others in the diaspora received direct threats or warnings in recent months?
It's quite confusing, Lulu, and obviously we are in a panic mode. You know, especially knowing that the person who has done the hit list, we don't know the person. The journalist who had that privilege also to get such deep information, we actually don't know the person. So it means whoever brought this to light in terms of putting it on the public domain is also well connected to the epicenter of the political activities which are taking place. Since we know in Zimbabwe there is a charging political temperature based on the proposal of constitutional amendments which is being proposed to be done by ZANU-PF to extend President Mnangagwa's term. So we are bound to believe everything because you can't predict what is going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, we are plugged to a panic mode, And we are also found in a position where we are confused because what we are doing is constructive criticism, knowing that it is also a formula to actually put us as the new generation and vibrant upcoming young politicians who is going to be the bearers of the tomorrow's future. So yeah, we are in a panic mode. I don't want to lie, Lulu, that we always think that maybe tomorrow I will not be alive.
And as you say, you're all panicking, and anything can happen. But what message does this killing send to Zimbabweans who generally speak out, who are outside the country? Yes, you say there's panic, there's being unsettled, but a direct message that you're picking up from this.
The direct message that we are picking up from this is that we don't need to say anything in terms of challenging the political decisions, maybe which might be put forward. But as long as this message is not yet sent clear, we are not going to be silent, because we believe that in as much as our elders are the office bearers today, there are certain things which we need to inherit. At the same time, the contribution of the evolving time and tactics which needs to be used in terms of governance system to actually serve our masses. So we are going to continue do constructive criticism and making sure that we are sending the message to them of what we want to see the country looking like, because we are the advocates for the well-being of the Zimbabweans, not even terrorists. We are not intending to use any violent act or whatsoever, but activism always push forward a message of what are the wishes of the masses in terms of the governance strategies which are being used by the people in power. So that is our position.
And very quickly, just in wrapping up, 15 seconds, what do you want Zimbabweans at home and those in the diaspora to understand about this moment?
What I want the Zimbabweans at home and the ones in the diaspora to understand is that let us not be scared. Let us stand and make sure that our voices will be heard by those who are responsible to take them into consideration. But I want to urge the people of Zimbabwe that when we are doing activism, let it be activism and make sure that we don't actually go to the extremes, especially in terms of taking into consideration the issues of security. But let's keep forward pushing our constructive criticism to those in power and do it responsibly and making sure that our voices are heard.
General, thank you for your time on Africa Update. We'll leave it there for today.
Thank you so much.
That's General Sithole, one of the people who are reportedly on a hit list and one of the Zimbabwean political activists in the diaspora.